Okay, hi guys. I wanted to do a quick little video about 2025 and 2024 because I actually have a lot of to share, and I know I have my iPad here because I want to look at the notes that are for this video as I speak. But I did say that I was gonna post more in 2024 and I didn't. My bad, guys. But this time I will. I will try my best because it is actually a goal for my 2025. It's in the vision board and everything, so it's official. And so we're gonna have like a couple of sections that we're gonna go through, but the whole gist of this is we're gonna get up close and personal, guys. We're gonna get really up close and personal because I think that there's so much that happened in 2024 and so much that I've learned in 2024, and I feel like I should share because it might help somebody. And also, I don't know, I just want to share as well because, guys, I like to yap, and I think more than all, I like to yap about the things that I learn and the things that I get to understand as I grow. So I'm gonna start doing that, guys. Also, no, we're gonna get to that. So I kind of have like a couple of sections. So my first section is like vision board because before we start talking about the past, we're gonna talk about the future. Let's look into the future and let's see all the goals that we have and all the things that I'm looking forward to. All right. So I don't know when it was. I think it was like a week or 2 weeks ago. Me and my friends met up so we could do like our 2025 vision board. I will not show you my vision board just because I do not like to show people except them because they were there. Um, my vision board until it comes through. Yeah, just a few things. I will share a few things. Like, for example, one of my vision boards is to start posting more and taking my content more seriously because I do love to post content. A lot of times I would get stuck in the mentality of how it's going to be perceived or needing to perfect it because contrary to popular belief, not contrary to popular belief, you might not know this about me if you've met me, but I am a perfectionist, and sometimes that sucks because it holds you back more than it actually propels you because there's nothing like perfect. You just have to do, you know what I mean? So, what I did use for my vision board was Pinterest. I used Pinterest for my vision board because nowadays you can make a collage. They did like a whole thing. Pinterest sponsor me. I'm putting you on. But they have a collage and it's quite easier for me than going to print because I think that's just a whole other process that I don't need to. But if you do like to have a physical thing, go for it. This is just what I prefer and this is what I want to do. But go for it, okay? Sorry guys, I haven't been looking at you. I've been looking at something else. I'm gonna start looking at you. But so to make a vision board, I think everyone should make a vision board. So to make a vision board, to make it easier for you, like these categories that you can kind of like put it in. So we have like finances, we have relationships, which include like romantic and friendships, and personal development, health, mental and physical, and career, and for me personally, education, because I am in my final year of university and I have goals for that. But yeah, so there's some of these I can actually share with you, to be honest with you, because we are getting up close and personal. But for my education, I really do want to graduate with like a fast class honors, which I 100% can do. So I just need to put in the work and the effort, but I definitely could do that if I wanted to. Health, mental and physical. Um, I if you have watched some of my videos, because I know not all of you follow me on all my platforms, you know, but I had started going to the gym and I did start running. I don't run as much outside anymore because it's really cold, and I do not enjoy that, but I do run in the gym though. So yeah. Personal development, that's going to be personal for everybody. I have my own goals that I want to achieve, but just think about it. Like, I would suggest sitting down and kind of like having a book and writing it down and visualizing and seeing what feels right. And do this alone because you do not want external influences, and do not go on the internet. I mean, unless you know yourself very well enough to differentiate between other people's goals, even though they look good, and your own, don't go on the internet to look for inspiration of what you want as a person, unless these certain traits that you look up to, so you can be able to differentiate. If you know yourself, you should be able to. But also, we're gonna the next one, because the next section kind of thing, I want to talk about this thing that is called the 12 magical nights ritual, which I did last year with my sister, and I'm doing this year as well. It happens, you start on the 20th, so on the winter solstice. You kind of like, okay, so you sit down again. You have to think about what you want for the next year. Okay, so you sit down and you write 13 wishes. I know it says 12, but you write 13 wishes, and you have to write things that you know you can do, right? Like you can do. But so you're gonna then you cut them up into like 13 pieces of paper, and then you fold them up. You're not supposed to see them anymore. Put them in a jar, right? And then, light a candle when you do this. Light a candle, meditate, center yourself, And then, so basically, what this ritual is about is you're going to ban a wish every single day, right? And that is giving it to the universe so that they can give it to you. So it's like, yeah, so you're asking for the universe for this, right? And the universe will give you what you ask for, guys. Don't even worry about that. She's given me a lot that I've asked for. But so you write that down, but make sure these are things that you can do on your own, because on the 12th or the 13th day, you'll be left, because it's supposed to be 12, right? You'll be left with one. That's the one you're supposed to open. And then that's the wish that you're in charge of making come true in 2025. That's why you kind of have to write things that you know you can achieve, things that you know that you can do. Yeah. Even if they're goals that you haven't achieved. So, for example, you wanna, I don't know, get a job. That's something you can put work into. So if you ask for that, start applying for jobs, go to job fairs, because you will be given the things, but you have to put yourself in the positions to be in it. So if that's the thing that you are in charge of, it should be quite easy to put yourself in such situations, right? But also why I like it, it kind of also helps me put into perspective what I want, because you have to set goals that you can accomplish on your own. I can't just be like, I want a Lamborghini. We gotta be a bit realistic. I will get a Lamborghini though, guys. Don't get it twisted. But yeah. Um so next section. Getting our shit together and going for our goals. Right? So something that I want to try in 2025, because I've wanted to try in 2024, I've just never gotten to it, is I want to try the 75 hard. But because I know what I want from it, I am 100% going to modify it to what I want to achieve. I'm still going to leave some of the things there, but you have to modify it to you, because you cannot, it's sometimes setting yourself up for failure, especially if you know yourself. Setting yourself up for failure, for example, if you say you want to do 2 45-minute or like 2 2 hour workouts every single day, and you've never worked out a day in your life, we gotta be so fucking for real. You don't have to copy and paste things that you see on the internet exactly like they are. You are allowed to tweak them however the fuck you want to. So that is exactly what I want to do, because I know what I want from it, and I know the goals that I have set for it. But yeah, so that one thing that I also want to do is I want to get over the feeling of instant gratification, or like doing things that only make me happy, because sometimes things that I need to do are gonna be so tiresome and annoying, like studying. But if I want that first class honors, bitch, I gotta fucking study. I gotta start doing my essays a month before they're due. I cannot be doing this 2 days before the deadline. Like, I'm setting myself up for failure. So, sometimes things that you want will not be fun to do, but you gotta do them. So, that is something that I'm trying to teach myself, but it's kind of hard for me because I have ADHD. And if you have ADHD, you know when things do not interest you or things take more mental capacity than you want them to, it's quite insane. Because unless I like the topic that I'm studying or doing for my essay, which I could not give less of a fuck about that. So I need to stop. I need to be so fucking for real and do the things that I need to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then now we're getting up close and personal. Y'all are about to find out some bullshit about me. I don't even think it's that deep. I just think that I've had a problem with opening up because I always have this fear that when people see me for who I am and see all the shit that I have, that they're gonna like knock off some cool points. But who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? For lack of a better word, they knock off some cool points. Yeah. So I recently got my ADHD meds because it's been a while since I had my ADHD meds because I was living life on, 100 every day. I was like, oh, I don't need that shit. But because I know the year that I have ahead of me in 2025, I had to. So I had a meeting with my psychiatrist and she prescribed for me the meds again. And I have been taking them for now. When I'm recording this video, I think it's been 4 or 5 days. And yes, guys, it works. It works so beautifully. It's actually quite insane. What have we been doing all this time? Um, because also me wanting to study a lot and all the things that I have planned for my 2025 are gonna need a lot of dedication and a lot of work. Like it's gonna be a tiresome year, but it's also gonna be a very rewarding year. So I needed the ADHD meds to be able to handle my shit and work on my shit. So oh my god. And then if you have been with me for a while, you will have noticed that at the beginning of the year, I used to have this friend. She was my best friend, and then we don't you don't see us together anymore. And that was such a crazy time, guys. What? It was such a crazy time. So much happened. I will not get into details about it just because I don't think I want to or I don't think I need to, so I won't. I will just talk about how hard it was though to lose a best friend. Oh my god, guys, what the fuck? Fuck an ex. Fuck an ex. What? Because where is this person I used to text about everything and call about everything and tell everything to? Like, they're not here anymore? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So it was quite hard. And I don't know, I think I was really down and depressed for a while because also she was genuinely the only person that I really, really trusted and opened up to. And she's the only person who knew me completely because I'm gonna bring this to another point. I might have it down here. I was actually reading my journal yesterday because sometimes I read my entirety of my journal because I keep a journal. You should too. And I noticed a pattern because I was like, something that I tend to do is I do not get vulnerable with people, even if they're important to me. I don't get vulnerable with people who are close to me and people I love, and not because I don't want to. I think I've just been bitten before, and this is like kind of like a trauma manifestation of this whole bullshit. But I just tend not to be vulnerable anymore. And I didn't notice this, but this is exactly what happens if I crumble and I'm going through something. I will sit in my room and I will crumble and I will figure my shit out and I will pick myself back up and I will walk away. You know what I mean? So it's not even like it's a sad, terrible thing because I am usually very, very able and capable of handling my shit. I'm very good at that. I can handle anything that is thrown my way. That is not something that I currently have a problem with. But see, the thing about it is when you're in relationships and close relationships, people, there's this intimacy. You have to let people in. You have to let people see when you're broken. Like you have to, not because you even need anything from them, but it's kind of like it's an exchange. You have to do it You know what I mean? And I realized that because I was deep in this and I was like, I never do that. I do not let people see me crumble. I always keep people at arm's length. And I was like, bitch, this fucking trauma is biting my ass. Do you know what I mean? So that is something that I will be trying to work on. It's a very hard because every single time I'm vulnerable, even just a little bit, it doesn't even have to be me breaking down, but sometimes when I'm getting to know people and I open up about things that I'm passionate about because that is being vulnerable, guys, my avoidant attachment style kicks the fuck in and I want to run away. Okay, I have a disorganized attachment style that I am healing because I would say I'm leaning more secure now. If you know psychology, you'll know what I mean. If you don't, read up on that, please, because it would also be very helpful if you are anywhere in that spectrum to know what is going on. But I also think if you've been on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen this because it was everywhere on my For You page at one point. I don't know if it's because I engage with psychological things, but it's, you know. But so that's something that happens, and 100% I know it's because I have been beaten in my ass before when I opened up to people before, and then it just backfired in my face and all that kind of bullshit. But yeah, so I think that was a really hard time for me to lose the one person who did know me like that. But I picked myself up and well, look at where we are now. You know what I mean? And I think everything does happen for a reason because I learned a lot about myself from that, and I learned things that I won't tolerate. I grew strong of my boundaries. I've been able to work on that because, you know. Um Also getting involved with people I didn't need to be getting involved with, and then seeing them every day or seeing people that know them every day has been insane. Guys, university is a scary, scary, scary place. If you're about to join university, do not talk to anybody, do not get friends, just study. Okay, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I think this is all part of life. This is things that happen. You can't really avoid them because I don't think you should. Guys, I'm getting sidetracked. But I think it's just crazy to me because I knew getting into this that I shouldn't have been getting into this, and I was proven right in the end. And then I was left with trauma to heal that I didn't need to be healing. On the plus side, I did learn my lesson and I will never do that. I know, like, we see this thing that's always like, do it for the plot, bitch. Never fucking again. Never. If you ever see me say anything like that, please, please, please do not hesitate to beat the shit out of me. Okay? Because that's crazy. You know? Or that's my evil twin sister. That is not me. Because I would never do that again. Um, Also, I had a lot of friendships in 2024 with people who were not great for me. Oh my god. And I think this happened because I was trying to fill the void of my best friend. Because when you have no one, you'll take anyone. But don't do that. Do not do that. Just be lonely. You will find your people. I swear to God, if you were you and you were operating in your own, like, genuine frequency, you will find your people. Do not even worry about that. It might take long. I will not sit here and sugarcoat it for you and tell you, oh, you know, everything's gonna be fine. No, it's gonna suck, bitch. Being lonely is not a fun thing. It's really not. It sucks ass. And you'll probably cry about it. And you probably ask yourself, why me? Why does this people have? Why do these people have? Why? Yeah. But do not. It is so much worse to put yourself in situations where you do not need to be. Because I was thinking about it, but also, guys, sometimes I'm slow as fuck. It might be because of the myriad of my mental illnesses. But, okay, that sounds like I'm actually fucking crazy, guys. They're not that many, they're just a couple. But I'm slow sometimes, and I don't usually realize when people are being bitches to me until it clicks, and I'm like, oh, this fucking hoes. Oh my god, I've cussed so much. Forgive me. If you are not of age, please do not watch my video. But do not do that because I did that, and thinking back about it, it's such a regret to have been in those spaces and realize like these bitches did not want the best for me. They couldn't give less of a fuck if I died or if anything happened to me. In fact, some of them were preying on my downfall. Insane thing to say. But also something that happened is I couldn't really be the best version of myself because when you're around these people, you will water your down. You will water yourself down, guys. Forgive me. English is not my first language. Oh, but you will water yourself down. You will water yourself down, and I think that is way more detrimental to you and your mental health than be like just just do the things that you love and you will find your people. Do the things you love and you'll find your people. I cannot promise you when. I cannot tell you this. I am very, very lucky to have my people and to have people that I love and people that I trust and that I found them now. I do not take that for granted, and I cannot say that that will happen, but I think it is so much better than abandoning yourself and putting yourself in situations that you do not need to be in, because that will take away from you more than it will give you, you know? Also, unpacking my relationship trauma has been such an experience. Oh my god. But so something that I did start doing, I would say mostly at from I'm gonna say September. I was gonna say June. I can't say June, but I did go back home, so it kind of put like a pause on it. I went back to Kenya, but I did start dating intentionally, like extremely intentionally. Like I am cutting bitches left and right if you do not act right. You know what I mean? I have things that I tolerate and I have things that I do not tolerate. And I am not educating anybody on basic human fucking decency. Do you know what I mean? Or sometimes I will say it once and then see how you do after that because shit happens. But something that I realized is that I had healed a lot from my ex, right? I've healed a lot and I do not think about him. He's not like a thought that happens and I'm like, oh, you know, no. But starting to date intentionally has triggered so much of my relationship trauma. It's actually so crazy because this was me. Oh fuck, I thought I healed that. But you know, this is the thing about healing that people always say is that you can heal outside of a situation, but to know if you're really healed, you have to put yourself in the situations that trigger you. And I am not saying do something dangerous or crazy, guys. Please, please don't do anything crazy and then say Israel said. No, I didn't say. I didn't say. But I think that I realized, like, see how Selenia was healing my disorganized attachment style. I have worked a lot on that. I have worked a lot on that and I've learned so much about my triggers and about all these things. But I think it's such a different experience being in the situations because this shit is so much deeper. It's not just surface level. It's not just surface level like traumas, quote unquote, or how they represent themselves. Sometimes, like, because I was saying this on my story the other day, and I was like, because I'm usually more anxious leaning, I forget that disorganized attachment also comes with avoidance tendencies because every single time I would be vulnerable or I would start getting close to someone, my brain would just be on 100 go mode. I would start panicking and I'd be like, fuck, I need to leave. I need to leave. I need to leave. Or I'd be vulnerable and I'd be like, fucking hell. Or I'd be vulnerable and then I'd get anxiety to how they're going to perceive my vulnerability. And that would make my brain go 100 miles per hour. And guys, these experiences are crazy. And I think having both attachment styles like throws you in for a loop because you're like, what the fuck is actually going on? What the fuck is actually going on? Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know, but I'm really grateful because each and every single one of the people that I have dated have taught me so much. Because this is something that at the beginning of the year I used to say, which was true, was that I knew what I wanted my partner to make me feel like, but I did not know how it would look in the physical. Do you know what I mean? So, because it's different things. Some people know how their relationship is going to look, but they don't know how it's going to make them feel. I was the opposite. I knew how a partner who was supposed to make me feel, but I did not know the physical manifestations of it and how it would look. And I think dating people intentionally has taught me so much about what I want and what I don't want so much because sometimes something would happen and then I would question and I'd be like, was that a bad thing? Was that a good thing? Did I like that? Did I not like that? Also, something about having this attachment styles is you have to learn how to trust yourself. And so that is something that I have been working on and teaching myself to trust myself and trust my opinions and things and my conclusions and things. I don't always have to search for answers about what other people think of that. If I don't like it, I don't like it, period. Like, that's the end of it. I don't care if my mom likes it. I don't care if my best friend likes it. I don't care if I don't know, people I'm watching like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Who gives a fuck if they like it? Do you know what I mean? So I needed to start learning how to trust myself. And that has helped, like dating people has helped so much because I would, like I was saying, something would happen and then I'd be like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And then I'd go round in circles, round in circles. And then sometimes these revelations would come after I had ended things with them. And I'd be like, yeah, actually, yeah, I did not like that. That wasn't a good thing. I should have trusted my initial gut feeling because your body always tells you. You will feel sensations in your body for anything. Like, you will feel the sensations in your body. But I would say that sometimes you have to be careful about the narrative that you build around the sensations, especially if you're someone who has a lot of trauma and anxiety, because your brain can create some crazy as fucking narratives. But listen to your body because it always does know. And that's something that I have quite learned. I'm still learning. We will be learning this in 2025 too. I'm sure other things will teach me more things about myself. Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, insane fucking experience. Um, okay. Also, sometimes I fumble. I fumble bad on my routines and my expectations. But I have been practicing to be kind with myself and allow that because I'm only human. And I also have to add in the context of I have ADHD. Things will not be as easy for me as they are for people who are neurotypical. That's just a fact. Do you know what I mean? So, like, something that 100% I do struggle with is routines. Oh my god, routines. I struggle them. I can follow a routine, but when I break it once, I fucked up. I fucked up. And instead of beating myself down for it, I just choose to be kind and be like, it's okay. You had a bad day, or it's harder for you. Just try again. And sometimes I'll give myself time to adjust so I can try again because I need my body to rest and not feel like I'm forcing it. Like, I don't want the anxiety of, as I was saying, I got rudely cut off by my storage full notification. Anyway, circling back, I think it's getting a bit dark, but circling back, actually, let me see if I can fix the light and then I will be back. Okay, I also decided to wear my glasses because everything was, the lighting was fucking with my eyes, but circling back to the self trust thing, I think because I was watching this video the other day and he was like, self trust is such a complex thing because there's so many things that can allow you to build self trust in yourself, but if you don't, then you won't trust yourself, and that's why you tend to always, or I tend to always, I'm going to speak about me personally, is when things happen that set off my anxiety or things happen that I'm left kind of like in the balance and I don't know what to expect, I tend to always go for worst case scenario in my head. And I am actually getting a bit better with it because just the other day something had triggered me in my head and I was ruminating in my head and then I was like, no, I'm in my head. I need to take a step back because there's no way with certainty I can say that the worst case scenario is going to happen. I don't know that. I have to take a step back and I have to wait for it to show itself to me before I start. And you also have to give yourself grace with that because it's just your brain trying to protect you because this has happened before and it doesn't want you to feel the same devastating effects that it had on you the first time. But I also think that kind of just like no, it actually just leaves you anxious about something for longer than you need to be because now you're stuck in this ruminating in your headspace and you're just like, yeah, this is gonna happen. Oh my god, I fucked up. Oh my god, they're gonna do this. They're gonna hate me, or they don't want to do this. Oh, this. You are not helping yourself. In fact, you were taking a toll on yourself. Like we need to chill. Like I need to chill, right? And so now and that happens as well because sometimes you kind of like don't trust how you're going to be able to handle situations, and this can happen because you don't think back to situations that you've handled well. Because that's the thing about it, there's always going to be something in life that gives you a certain amount of anxiety or something that you're like, oh my god, what is going to happen? Because we don't also always know the future. Story, I was looking at the wrong place again. Because we also don't know about the future. You cannot know about the future with certainty. Like there's so many, especially right now, I will speak for a lot of people around me because we're also all final year students, and so next year we're supposed to go into the job market and get big girl jobs and big boy jobs, I guess. Um, but what happens is that you're left in this because you don't know what's gonna happen. You're so stressed, you're so anxious, you're like, what if I don't get a job? Because also the thing is that the narrative outside there is that a lot of people are not getting these jobs. People keep receiving, unfortunately. And sorry, I got a low power mode thing. Anyway, um, a lot of the I'm sorry, I keep getting like things that are making sense. But I was telling someone like the things that you watch and the information that you consume dictate your reality. I am not saying that it is not true that a lot of people are not receiving this, but if that is the only thing that you're consuming and that's the only thing you're talking about, you are going to believe that that's going to happen. That will shape your reality. And so you will have more anxiety over the fact that you're about to finish university and you're not going to get a job. Do you know what I mean? How about think about best case scenario and be like, no, actually, I will get a job, you know? Or if I don't get a job, it's going to work out for me how it needs to anyway. Like, I'm going to be fine. But I personally, I will think about it, but I will not get hung up on best case scenario just because I do not want it to ever be attached to a singular outcome. I just want to be open to what happens. I am definitely hoping for the best. Do not get me wrong. Do not get it twisted. I am hoping for the best, but I am not attached to that outcome because I know that everything that happens to me for a certain purpose. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes the things that you want are not good for you. They're not the things that will actually take you to where you want to be. And you wouldn't know that because you are who you are now. You cannot know what you will know in the future. Like I sometimes think back to past me. I think back to January me. And I'm like, bitch, there's so many things you wanted, but I'm so glad you didn't get them. Because that was not your purpose. That was not your destiny, babe. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah. And then section 4, 5. I have no idea. But this is lessons that I've learned about myself in 2024. Yeah. Ways that I expected people in my life and significant others to show up for me is exactly how I also needed to show up for them. So, if I expected a healed and accountable version of them, I had to also be able to show up as exactly that. And it wasn't really a hard pill to swallow, but it was really like a slap in the face, like wake up. It was like a wake up call. Like sometimes the reason why I don't have the things that I'm asking for is because I am not the person who I am supposed to be when I have those manifestations. Do you know what I mean? Or sometimes, for example, you'll ask for a certain job, yeah, and you will not get it because maybe the person you are now would actually fumble that. You would actually fumble that, and then you would just have something else to be sad about. And so sometimes that's why your things are delayed. Or sometimes that's why you don't get other things. Doesn't mean you won't get better. You always get better. You always get better in the end. Like things that I wanted and I didn't get them, I have gotten better. I promise you that. So that's also something I need to keep reminding myself, right? But I have to show up as a version of myself that has these things so that I can be able to be with them. Like, even like again with the friendships and partners, I cannot want a partner who is healed and is communicative and shows up for me and is all these kind of things. And I don't even do that. Like I wouldn't deserve that. Like that would be crazy. It's like wanting to be president and you have zero. That's a call out to. I don't even want to say that they might come from me, but it's like wanting to, for example, be a lecturer, and you have no degree. You want to teach in philosophy. You've never picked up a philosophy book in your life. Like that's crazy. No, you're not gonna be given that. Like that's insane because you don't deserve that. Not that you won't if you put in the work. If you go to uni, get your masters, get your postgraduate PhD, whatever the fuck you wanna get in philosophy, you can definitely be a lecturer of philosophy. No one's gonna stop you. No one's gonna deny you that opportunity because you have finally reached a version of yourself that is worthy of the thing you are asking for. Do you know what I mean? So that was something I had to like clock into my fucking head, you know? Also, something else I learned is trauma is so much more deep rooted than I thought it is, and it's probably going to be a lifelong journey to heal that. Like, we're going to be working on this bullshit for the rest of our lives. Oh, but it's okay. I'm okay with that because I always want the best for myself. And I always want to be the best version of myself. And I love myself, so I always want better for myself. So it's gonna be hard. Sometimes it's really hard to work on these things. Sometimes when you're confronted with your shadow, it's really not a fun sight. Sometimes it is not where you wanna be. But I think making it out to the other side has always been really fulfilling and worth it for me, I would say personally, and I think it would be for you too. So yeah. Also I am so proud of myself for the growth I've had as an individual because when I look back at myself and my different versions of me throughout my life, oh my God. I am such a different person. I am such a different person. I have grown so much. Like, and sometimes you won't notice until you reflect. This is why they tell you to reflect. Guys, reflect. This is also why I keep a journal because sometimes I forget, but when I journal it down, because I was saying I read my journal, sometimes I'm like, oh, babe, damn, fuck. Like, you are that bitch now. Like, I can't even lie. But I do still hold compassion for previous versions of me because they were doing their best. They were absolutely doing their best with everything that they knew at the moment. So I'm proud of her. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of every version of myself because she was that bitch. But I have grown. Oh my God. The things I can handle now, I would have crumbled. But anyway, circling back to me healing my attachment styles. I've also learned that vulnerability is not a weakness. In fact, fearing to be vulnerable was holding me back from a lot of blessings. So now I try to just do what I want and go for what I want. I am still met with a little bit of resistance. Of course, I am. Because my brain is, again, she's just trying to protect me. She doesn't want me to get hurt like I was before. Because something that happens is, I'm about to get all psychological on you, but the fight flight system is built to keep you safe. Like, it doesn't just keep yourself from physical attacks, it also does that from psychological and emotional ones. So if you have been introduced to a lot of trauma, especially as you grow up, even just now, your brain tends to learn from that and form um, behaviors that protect you from that. But that's the thing about it, when you're outside of those situations that are not causing you the trauma anymore, those behaviors are just not helpful anymore. Like, they are actually holding you back. But when you were in those times, they were extremely helpful. Like, dissociating is very helpful for people when they're going through the trauma. But when you're out of the trauma, dissociating just makes, like, it's just holding you back from a lot of things. But guys, I'm always holding space for this. I'm very compassionate with this. It happens. It happens. Of course, it's going to happen. Of course, that's how your body's going to react. But I'm trying to unlearn those things and unlearn those behaviors because they do not serve me anymore. Because I am not in the place that was actively traumatizing me. So I need to stop because now I'm just missing out on a lot of blessings. You know what I mean? So I do try to be vulnerable. Sometimes my brain will be like, oh fuck, and then I will go 100 miles per hour, but I am learning how to regulate myself and calm myself down. Like I was saying, I pause and I'm like, you're in your head. You're in your head. This is not real. This is not real. You're in your head. Go for a fucking walk or something, you know? So, yeah. Um, Again, I'm going to bring up the point of dating intentionally has been such a roller coaster, but it has taught me so much about myself. Because, again, you have to be triggered to know if the things or the coping mechanisms or the things you've learned to work through, actually, you can work through them. Like, I can learn to set boundaries theoretically, but I need to be in a situation that forces me to set my boundaries so that I can actually practice and it becomes something that becomes normal to me. So that has happened a lot this year. Oh my god. And you would think a year would be enough for it to be able to be easy. No. Don't worry, I still stand on fucking business. You best believe that. In fact, my body cannot allow myself to not stand on business anymore, which is something that I love that has come out of this. But sometimes I do still get a little bit of anxiety from standing on business, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I still stand on business, and that's all that matters. Okay, so guys, things I'm grateful for in 2024, and things that I also want to be more grateful for in 2025 is my friends. I love them so much. I love my friends so much. They are my people, and they're people that I know I can come to for anything, and I know they have my best interest in heart. And Stan, I'm so grateful for them in my life, and I hope to see them more and to share more in 2025. You know, um, the confidence that I have built in myself and my desires for my future are things that I'm grateful for because I know who I am, so I'm not worried about what I need to do because I will be exactly what I want and need to be. And I will kill the shit out of that. Like when I was making my 2025 vision board, guys, you don't understand the excitement. Sorry, it was electrifying to visualize all the things that I want to do with my life and visualize everything that I'm going to be. And so I think You should definitely make a vision board and believe in yourself and know deep down in your heart that you are going to get every single thing there. Every single thing and more. In fact, the things you're dreaming about, or the things that you can't even begin to possibly fathom, that are waiting for you. And so, yeah, guys, New Year, us, I think. New Year, better us, for sure. But I hope you enjoyed me yapping with you about this, and I hope that you enjoyed me getting up close and personal. And now we are officially besties, guys. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. We are besties now because I just told you everything about me. So you have to. You cannot say no. You're not allowed to. But I will see you later. And I hope you guys have a great step to your new year. And I hope blessings and blessings and blessings come your way. Bye.